The atmosphere inside the palace has shifted into a state of total jubilation, and the joy is flowing like a river. This all follows the incredible song we heard Kabiyesi deliver to Queen Naomi as they entered the new year. This matter has been trending heavily on social media, but now the story has taken a much deeper turn. We have finally heard Queen Naomi speak, and her reaction is everything the people were waiting for. Queen Naomi stepped out with a calmness that felt like a steady river. She didn't come with noise. She came with a level of grace that felt almost deadly to her enemies. She officially announced that the much anticipated spelling bee competition is going forward. The banners are being prepared, the publicity is starting, and the forms are ready for the children to pick up. In less than 3 weeks, this massive event will be live. But it was what she said about the terms of this event that sent shockwaves to the palace. She made it very clear the competition will remain pure. She stated firmly that there will be no collaborations with anyone who carries yesterday's wounds into tomorrow's future. This was a masterclass in wisdom. She thanked the sponsors, the churches, and the youths, but she drew a line that nobody can cross. She dropped a line that has since gone viral. Good intention does not erase bad history. In her eyes, trust is not a cheap commodity that can be bought by anyone, even those with high titles or religious backings. She is protecting her peace and her platform. She made it clear she would only accept collaborations from notable brands that actually want to impact lives, not people who want to use her platform to trend or settle old scores. This announcement has caused massive celebration because people can see she's standing her ground against those who once tried to pull her down. However, as the Queen star continues to rise, the situation for gospel has become very shaky. Following Kabiyesi'S viral love song, gospel decided to do a public reaction. But according to palace insiders, that reaction was a major mistake. Instead of coming across as calm or spiritual, she allowed her emotions to spike. People noticed the contradiction in her attitude immediately. Even a person who cannot see will know that her long, shaky explanations were just a way to play the victim's tone. The comment sections have exploded with one specific line. If your heart is clean, your explanation will be short. But if your heart is dirty, your lies will expose you. As the pressure mounted, reports surfaced that gospel suffered a private breakdown. The palace sympathizers who used to support and now have nothing left to see. They are watching as the drama unfolds, seeing that you cannot hide a bad character forever. While this was happening, a reverend also weighed in on the matter, supporting the Queen's position. He reminded everyone that when a man like Kabiyesi honors his wife publicly, it is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. He added that love celebrated openly is the best way to silence secret envy. He used a powerful proverb by saying that a flower does not offend the wind by blowing. In other words, Queen Naomi is simply thriving, and if that causes wind or noise from others, it is not her fault. The word from the palace is that Kabiyesi himself has reportedly rebuked gospel, telling her to stay completely away from Queen Naomi's affairs. He is making it clear that the Queen is untouchable and her grace is the final judge in this matter. The banners are moving, the children are practicing, and the palace is moving forward with or without the drama seekers. People are watching every move. Every time they think Queen Naomi will fall, she rises higher. Every time they think Kabiyesi will turn away, he sings a louder song of honor. This is the reality of the truth in the palace right now. Everybody wants to slip into the Queen's glory, but they continue to fail because her foundation is solid. The tension in the palace has moved from the courtyard into the inner chambers. After the public jubilation following Kabiyesi'S viral love song, the behind-the-scenes reality is starting to leak out. While Queen Naomi is busy preparing for a massive spelling bee competition, the atmosphere surrounding gospel has turned from defense to distress. We hear that following Queen Naomi's care statement, the one where she said good intention does not erase bad history, gospel felt the sting directly. She allegedly tried to reach out or make a statement to show she was still in the mix, but the door was slammed shut. Queen Naomi's decision to remain pure and avoid any collaborations with people from her past is being seen as a deadly move of wisdom. She's not shouting, she's not fighting, she's simply moving on as if the past doesn't exist. Now, let's talk about that public reaction gospel tried to pull off. It was a disaster, plain and simple. She tried to use what people call a spiritual language mixed with deep sighs and victim's tone approach to win sympathy. But the audience today is smarter than that. People noticed that her voice was shaky, not because of the spirit, but because of a lack of accountability.
They asked if you were the one who asked for divorce, why are you reacting to Kabiyesi singing for his queen? The comment sections on social media have become a battlefield. People are pointing out the massive contradiction in her attitude. When you are at peace, you don't need a 10-minute video to explain why you are happy for someone else. You just stay quiet. But the reaction showed a spiked emotion that she couldn't hide. And it was in this moment of weakness that the palace sympathizers began to pull back. Even those who used to support her are now saying this one is too much. But the real blow came from Kabiyesi himself. According to Palace insiders, Kabiyesi has reportedly issued a firm rebuke. He didn't just ignore her reaction, he sent a message through the right channel saying that she should not attempt to use Queen Naomi's name or platform to trend anymore. He is protecting the Queen's peace with everything he has. He told her in no uncertain terms that to keep his Queen's name out of any gossip or spiritual defenses. This is a side of Kabiyesi we haven't seen in a long time. A man who is standing firmly as a shield for his woman. The Reverend who spoke earlier hasn't backed down either. He landed another heavy proverb that has people thinking. He said the weed only gets offended because the flower is getting all the water. This was a direct hit at the envy brewing in the palace. He reminded everyone that marriage is not a competition and affection is not a provocation. If Kabiyesi chooses to love his queen openly, it shouldn't be a reason for someone else to feel attacked. Unless, of course, that person still has an hidden agenda.
As we speak, the materials for the spelling bee are being finalized, the banners are being printed, and Queen Naomi is focusing all her energy on the children. She has reportedly refused to even acknowledge the drama. To her, the yesterday wounds she mentioned are healed, and she has no intention of picking the scabs. This silence is judging her critics more than any shout could ever do. Reports are now circulating that after seeing how her reaction failed and hearing Kabiyesi's firm warning, Gospel broke down privately. It's a complete collapse of the strong woman image she tried to project. People are saying she now realizes that the palace has moved on and she is being left behind in the shadows of the past. The verdict is becoming louder every day. In this palace, Queen Naomi is the one with the grace, the one with the crown, and the one with the king's heart. Anyone trying to slip into her glory is finding the bed very uncomfortable. The plot is thickening, and the lines in the sand have turned into walls of fire. As the countdown to the spelling bee competition begins, Queen Naomi has officially released the list of her collaborators. This move has caused another round of jubilation because she stayed true to her word. She did not collaborate with any honorary names just for the sake of prestige. Instead, she chose notable brands that are focused on impacting the lives of children. This move sent a very clear message. She is not here to help anyone rebrand their image. She is here for the work. We hear that several people who tried to use their high titles to squeeze into her circle were politely but firmly rejected. Queen Naomi's wisdom is truly showing. She knows that if you let the wrong person share your platform, they will eventually try to use it to trend against you. While this was happening, the Reverend's voice became even louder. He addressed the viral video of Kabiyesi'S love song once again, and his words were like a bummer to the enemies. He said boldly, when a man honors his wife publicly, he is not showing weakness, he is showing wisdom. He went further to explain that celebrating love openly is the only way to kill the secret envy that thrives in the dark. He even dropped a heavy proverb. Marriage is not a competition and affection is not a provocation. This hate gospel hard. People are saying the flower and wind proverb from earlier has now become the anthem of the palace. The Reverend statement basically told the world that Queen Naomi's shine is natural, and if it offends anyone, it's because their own heart isn't clean. This has caused a huge buzz on social media. People are now looking at gospel's previous spiritual defense and calling it out for what it is, a distraction. The palace insiders are saying that the atmosphere is now very clear. Kabiyesi has shown where he stands. He is no longer entertaining any middle ground. He has reportedly rebuked any attempts to bring palace gossip to his ears regarding the queen. He is fully focused on the success of the upcoming event. We hear that banners are already being placed in strategic locations and the queen has given the final go-ahead for the materials to be used. The most shocking part of this update is the report on gospel's current state.
After the spike in her emotions and the failed public reaction, she has reportedly gone into a shell. The breakdown we mentioned earlier was not just a small cry, it was a realization that the victim card has expired. The palace sympathizers have moved on. They are now following the light, and that light is shining directly on Queen Naomi. The verdict remains the same. Grace is speaking, silence is judging, and the queen is untouchable. The day we have all been waiting for has finally arrived, and the atmosphere in Ekiti is nothing short of legendary. The spelling bee competition, led by the grace of Queen Naomi, has officially kicked off. People traveled from far and wide to see the untouchable queen in action, and she did not disappoint. Queen Naomi appeared on the stage, looking like a vision of pure elegance. There were no yesterday's wounds in sight. She focused entirely on the children, the notable brands she chose to partner with, and the impact they were making. The joy in the air was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But even in the midst of this celebration, the silent verdict of the palace was felt by everyone. We hear that behind closed doors, Kabiyesi made a final move that has set the record straight once and for all. While the event was ongoing, reports surfaced that Kabiyesi presented a special token of appreciation to the queen, a gesture that publicly confirms her place as the one who holds the peace of the palace. This wasn't just about a love song anymore, it was about a firm royal standing. On the other side of the palace wall, the silence from Gospel's camp is deafening. After her public reaction backfired and her private breakdown became the talk of the town, she has remained in the shadows. The victim's stone she tried to throw has officially rolled back to her fate. The public has moved on, and the palace hierarchy has been reset. The Reverend's final message on the matter was the nail in the coffin. He said, when God decides to lift a person, the crowd doesn't just need to adjust, they need to keep quiet. This event has proven that Queen Naomi's wisdom, the decision to refuse collaborations with those who carry yesterday's bad history, was the right move. She has protected her brand, she has protected her peace, and most importantly, she has protected her future. The spelling bee was a massive success, but the real victory was the clear message sent to all trend seekers and secret enviers. The queen is at peace, and that peace is not for sale. As the banners are taken down and the children go home with their prizes, one thing is certain, the palace is no longer a place of confusion. It is a place of clear boundaries and royal grace.